Hi, this is G from Native Speakers Academy, and welcome to another edition of 10-Minute English. This is where we introduce short educational articles from recent news or from around the internet. I almost said internet. The internet for upper, intermediate, and advanced level students. Yes, it's been that kind of day today. The level is B2 and C1 in the Common European Framework. Hopefully, on the screen in front of you, you will be able to see the article that we are going to look at together today. The title is How We Are Still Being Tricked with Flawed Data on Global Warming. Before we get into the article, as usual, I'm going to point you in the direction of our home site, which is www.nsa-slovakia.com. That's Native Speakers Academy Center for Educational Theory and Research, with a wealth of information there. On the right side of your page, you should be able to see our YouTube channel with a huge number of educational videos available. You might also want to scroll through our boards on Pinterest, or even have a look at some of the individual posts that have gone up recently. If you click on the images, you will get a clearer picture. Here's an infographic on leadership styles. It might be useful for anyone who's doing a course in business English, or for any teachers presenting information on business English. So the reason why we're here today is to together work through an article. As usual, I have highlighted the key vocabulary in yellow. You can check it before we go through the text, or if you're lazy, you can guess from the context and check your understanding after. If you do want to work with the vocabulary, I will point you in the direction of Google Define. Type in Google followed by the word, and you will get a nice definition. Here's one I did earlier. God. In Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. And there are other definitions, and there's extra information there. I've often wondered whether or not there was a relationship between the word God and the word good. According to the online etymology dictionary, God is not related to the word good, which is interesting, because if you consider the religious opposite of the word good, it's evil. And the personification of evil is the devil. So that's something to think about, isn't it? Well, maybe it is and maybe it isn't. What are we here to do? Look through an article. How we are still being tricked with flawed data on global warming. Something very odd has been going on with the temperature data relied on by the world's scientists, writes Christopher Booker. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you ready? If you are, then we shall begin. Although it has been emerging for 7 years or more, one of the most extraordinary scandals of our time has never hit the headlines. Yet another little example of it lately caught my eye when, in the wake of those excited claims that 2014 was the hottest year on record, I saw the headline on a climate blog: Massive tampering with temperatures in South America. The evidence on, not a lot of people know that, uncovered by Paul Homewood was indeed striking. Now there are a few other phrases I could highlight here. Let's highlight this one. And let's highlight this word. Remember, for a full understanding of the text, you need to be clear with your knowledge of the highlighted language. Let's continue. Puzzled by those 2014 hottest ever claims, which were led by the most quoted of all the 5 official global temperature records, NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, Homewood examined a place in the world where GIS, the Goddard Institute for Space Studies, was showing temperatures to have risen faster than almost anywhere else. A large chunk of South America, stretching from Brazil to Paraguay. But when Homewood was then able to check GIS's figures against the original data from which they were derived, he found that they had been altered. Far from the new graph showing any rise, it showed temperatures in fact having declined over those 65 years by a full degree. When he did the same for the other 2 stations, he found the same. In each case, the original data showed not a rise, but a decline. How much faith and trust can we put in these scientists if they are doing this? One surprise is that the 3 surface records, all run by passionate believers in man-made warming, in fact derive most of their land surface data from a single source. This is the Global Historical Climate Network. Did you know there was a Global Historical Climate Network? Managed by the U.S. National Climate Data Center. Did you know there was a U.S. National Climate Data Center? Under NOAA. I'm sure that's meant to be a joke. Biblical, of course. Which in turn comes under the U.S. Department of Commerce. Wait. So the historical climate network is under the U.S. Climate Data Center, which is under NOAA, which is under the U.S. Department of Commerce. What a tangled web we weave. Commerce, no less. Climate and commerce. I wonder what they have in common. But 2 aspects of this system for measuring surface temperatures have long been worrying a growing array of statisticians, meteorologists, and expert science bloggers. There's a phrase, expert science bloggers. One is that the supposedly worldwide network of stations from which GHCN draws its data is flawed. Up to 80% or more of the Earth's surface is not reliably covered. Not covered at all. Furthermore, around 1990, the number of stations more than halved from 12,000 to less than 6,000. So they are collecting less and less data. And most of those remaining are concentrated in urban areas or places where studies have shown that thanks to the urban heat island effect, Readings can be up to 2 degrees higher than those in rural areas where thousands of stations were lost. And I think what happens is that the heat reflects from the buildings and builds up. Who are you following me? Should I highlight is flawed there? Maybe I should. There we go. In reality, the implications of such distortions of the data go much further than just representing one of the most bizarre aberrations in the history of science. The fact that our politicians have fallen for this scary chicanery has given Britain the most suicidally crazy energy policy, including useless windmills and all that, of any country in the world. Yes, they even have the windmills underwater now. They don't work above the water, so they put them under the water. And if you don't know, the windmills cannot supply basically any power to the grid. In fact, you need to take power from the grid to turn on the computers in them and to get them to turn around. So it's a giant scam once again. The source of this article is the Independent Online, and a link to the original article, which has been slightly edited, will be provided with this video online. Now, as usual, I have some thoughts and notes that I would like to present to you. So here we go, thoughts and notes. How much can you trust data that you do not collect yourself? It's difficult, isn't it? You have to trust but verify, find three different sources for your information, and time. You have to study the source of the information over time to see if they are consistent. If you do that, you give yourself a good chance of getting good data and results. Have scientists become the new priests? Have we created a priesthood from science where scientists and experts are unquestionable? Those men in white lab coats, are they replacing the religious leaders of the past? Or are a few just spoiling it for the many? Are there only one or two scientists in key positions who are spoiling it for all the others who are doing good, hard work and deep research? Now, the climate information and data is very often based on models, and models are just that, models. They do not have to reflect reality, so beware of models. There are no rules to say the media anywhere has to present the truth. Did you know that? They don't have to present the truth. What is more powerful? The universe, nature, God, man? What do you think? Do you think man is going to overpower nature? Or do you think the universe is going to have the last word? Look, money rules the academic world. Anyone on the inside will tell you that. It always has and always will. And as long as it does, we're not going to improve our situation. If you would like more information about topics like this, if you want the establishment and anti-establishment perspectives, you might want to have a look at the NSA special report, Who's Afraid of the Peer Review Process. You can find it by typing that title into the search box at the top of our page. If you would like more information about climate, I recommend the following websites. Climate Depot has all the latest information and a huge wealth of resources. And I also recommend the Science and Public Policy Institute, which has a lot of data. Also, on the NSA home site, years ago, one of the first articles I ever wrote for the website was entitled Dinner Party Conversations. It contains a list of information on geoengineering and climate, including government white papers. You can find this by typing in Dinner Party Conversations to the search box on our home site. So, that's about all we have time for today. Links to the original article and anything else relevant will be posted online together with this short presentation. Why don't you give us some feedback? Link to us on Facebook or YouTube or Pinterest or LinkedIn or Google Plus, and let us know what you think about the article. Give us your opinion. Send us some data if you have some data. And if you are super interested, then you might want to take one of our special one-to-one English language study programs that we run through HD Skype. Just send us an email for more info. So it's up to you what you do. Like, subscribe, share, whatever. I wish you a great rest of the day wherever you are, and I will speak to you soon. Take care and bye for now.